I disagree with that. I mean, the president said over and over again that no deal is better than a bad deal. So when he said
Everybody says that.
right, and when he said that, he must have instructed the entire interagency to come to him with a comprehensive plan of alternatives, which included the possibility of military force, but also the use of sanctions, of course, of diplomacy, of cyber sabotage, of covert action. He must have had a very comprehensive alternative plan. In fact, I'm sure we would all be very interested to know what was your alternative to that deal, because no responsible commander-in-chief would go into negotiation, particularly with a hardened negotiator like Zarif or Rouhani, without an alternative. We all know that from Negotiations 101, you get taken the cleaner. So he had an alternative. Now let's look at what the alternative is. I've testified 5 times before the U.S. Congress in the past 2 weeks, and I've done detailed scenario planning on what are the alternatives. And I disagree with that. After spending a decade working on sanctions, people fundamentally misunderstand. We don't sanction countries. The genius of what the U.S. Treasury Department did and what the U.S. Congress did is they essentially created an environment of risk, so that financial institutions and energy companies and insurance companies made a fundamental decision. You either have access to the $17 trillion U.S. economy or the $400 billion Iranian economy. And if you make the wrong choice, there are going to be consequences, and many companies paid that price. I don't believe on a congressional vote of approval that these companies are going to be rushing in. I don't buy this argument there's going to be some gold rush. I think that they're going to be very cautious about going back into Iran because of the counterparty risk, and more importantly, the political risk.
I read one story after another. I have people lining up to go back in fact, the sanctions are.
I just want to point out that the alternatives that were prepared by the administration in case of failure were in case that there was no deal, the P5+1, and we're all in agreement that there wasn't any deal. The Iranians were cast as the villains, and the administration had an incentive